In terms of being on schedule, behind schedule, on schedule as you're midway through?
We got a long ways to go in a lot of different areas, but our attitude and our effort has been great, and that's really kind of what I'm concerned about more than anything. But we got a long ways to go. We got a long ways to go in development. We got a long ways to go in understanding schemes and concepts, understanding what it's going to take to get this program where we want it to be. That's recruiting. That's every aspect. So we're laying a foundation this spring. We'll come back in the summer ready to go.
When you've seen these guys live 8 times now, what have you learned about this?
Well, I think we got really good football players and we got great kids here. We just don't have enough of them. That's the reality. I've been very pleased with the defense. I think our starting defensive unit, we feel really good about. The depth behind it is the concern. On offense, we have some holes in the starting lineup. We really do. So we're going to have to be creative and find ways to solve issues. I've been pleased with what we're doing with special teams. But we got some work to do. There's no doubt about it.
What kind of things have you been trying to do to kind of solve those issues with them?
Well, right now there's not a whole lot we can do to solve the issues. We have moved people around. You guys are already aware we've moved some defensive guys to offense and things like that. Some positions are hard to solve with what we currently have on the roster. So that's where the recruits will help with that. I think another thing is we're going to have to play a lot of freshmen. I typically would prefer not to do that, but I've already been direct messaging these guys and telling them they need to come in with the mentality they're going to play. Typically there's certain positions like offensive line that you would like to redshirt, and really, you're where you're at as a program when really good offensive linemen and defensive linemen are playing by their sophomore year. We're going to have to play all these guys as true freshmen and just grow with them.
From now up and through the blue-white game, what do you want to see accomplished?
Well, we want to stay healthy. We want to get them confident with their assignment so we can start playing fast and violent. That's really what we're looking to try to do, and take some of that indecision out of their footwork and things like that, and be able to come into camp with them feeling really comfortable. We put a lot on them so that when we come back in summer camp, they're not hearing things for the first time. We're installing everything, offense, defense, special teams.
To follow that up, do you get a sense that these guys are kind of absorbing what you guys are trying to install early on here?
I think so. I think they've done a nice job. I think we got great teachers. We're called coaches, but we're really teachers. That's what we essentially are. And I think we got a really good group of guys that could do that. And again, we got smart kids here. I think that helps. We got really smart kids off the field, and we got football smart guys as well. So that'll be important for us. But I think they're doing extremely well.
When you said about the offensive line, what have you seen from Miles Diefenbach and Andrew Nelson so far this spring?
Not enough.
And likewise, like you said about getting some of the young guys here, how important is it for you to have, like you have today with all these coaches, high school kids, how big is that for you to kind of show them what to do?
It's very important. It's all about relationships, having high school coaches here, having recruits here, their families here. One of the things that I know that our players have really appreciated is their parents coming to practice. I think we have five sets of current players' parents in practice today, which they're excited about as well. Now they can come up, see their son practice on a Saturday, then take them out for lunch. That's something that's going to be very important for us. So it's all about relationships with everything we do, having a great relationship with you guys, having a great relationship with the high school coaches, the recruits, everybody on this campus and in this community. We're going to work very hard at it.
With not seeing enough of those two offensive linemen, what guys have you seen a good bit of and have been impressed by so far along the offensive line?
I'd probably give you a better analysis on those types of things towards the end of spring or right at the after the spring game. I'll put together and do a kind of report on each position, kind of where I think we're at, and some areas of weakness or areas of concern. But O-line, as you guys all know, I mean, I'm not stating anything you don't already know. The O-line and wide out is a concern for us, not just in depth in starters.
A guy I don't think we've asked you about yet, Hunter Kisco. What have you seen from him so far?
He's still got some work to do. I've been pleased with his attitude, his approach. I think Fickens had a great spring so far. A lot of times we talk about just the kickers, but the snappers, the holders. Kaiser's been really good at holding. So it's all of them. It's all of them together. But I've been very impressed with Ficken. Golo's still got some work to do, but I've been pleased with him as well.
Dowering guy or two guys that switched offensive line. How's their transition going?
Be honest with you, I feel for them because we put them in a tough position. 2 days before spring ball starts, I say, hey, you're offensive lineman. go at it, you know, and they're tough guys and they're smart guys, but you know, that's a tough transition. They've handled it extremely well. They're team first guys, and I've been very pleased and impressed with them.
How does you talk about the depth issue, offensive line, wide receiver? How does that affect what you're doing with your quarterbacks and the running backs?
Oh, it definitely affects. The second team quarterback has a hard time developing because he's got people around him all the time. So what I don't think people realize a lot of times is when you have such lack of depth at certain positions, it affects everybody's development. It doesn't just affect the quarterback, it affects the defensive backs because they're not getting the work that they need as well. So it has a major trickle-down effect on everybody. Guys, I got to go. I love you, but I got to get with the recruits. As much as I love you, I love them more. So have a great day.